Well, good evening and welcome to High School Sports 2000. This is Jim Sainsbury along with Jim Sanders, longtime coach here. And Coach, we got a good matchup going here this evening.
Well, we do. It's a typical Western Big Six showdown. You got two teams coming in with records of 2-1. Both teams have an opportunity to still play in the playoffs. UT at 5-1, Moline at 3-3. It should be a great game.
I'm looking forward to it. It's my second time seeing both teams here this season. And a new look for the UT team. They got the gray pants on with black jerseys, orange trim. Kind of threw me off when they first came out of the field. But the Moline Maroons in their normal maroon pants with white jerseys and maroon numerals. And we're just about to get ready. What are the big matchups do you think here this evening, Coach?
Well, I think the key to this ball game is going to be whether UT can hang on to the ball a little bit, have some drives that are going to take a little bit longer. UT all year long has scored from long distance, 60, 70-yard runs. Moline's obviously going to try to eliminate that, and then with their ball control offensively. So I think if UT can get the ball back and then pop some long runs, I think we're going to be okay. But I think Moline's had a lot to do with it. Moline won every game between these two teams in the 90s. Now the good news for the Panther fans, this isn't the 90s anymore, so we're into a new decade, and let's just see what happens.
That's right. As you can probably tell, this guy's a little pro UT, and I'm kind of neutral since obviously I think a lot of people know that I'm not from this area, from Madison, Wisconsin, but it's going to be a tough defense going against a very explosive offense. Moline's only allowed 28 points in conference play, although the record doesn't really show how good a team this really is, so we really do have a good one going here tonight. I think it's again the immovable front line of Moline versus very fast and explosive backs that UT has.
I think you're right there, absolutely. UT, and defensively, UT is going to have to stand up to that force up front too, with big kids in there and some good powerful running backs from Moline. So, the common opponent thing, you look at Rock Island would be the obvious common opponent, and right offhand you'd first think that maybe that UT might have a little advantage. They came a little bit closer in the ball game, but we have to remember in that Rock Island Moline game, I think Moline turned the ball over 4 or 5 times, and take those out of the equation, and Moline might be the undefeated team in the Western Big Six right now.
I think you're absolutely correct. Moline did win the toss. They have deferred to the second half, and so again, we're looking forward to a good one here. We're sponsored tonight by the Quad City Sports Connection, your monthly sports publication, and with that, we'll take a break and be back with tonight's kickoff. Go here for the first kickoff. Brent Anderson will be kicking off, number 7, and he'll be kicking it down to Josh Shatterman. And it looks like as well
Terry Westbrook.
Terry Westbrook's number 27. And we have started a low, kind of a worm burner, I guess we call it in golf, and it's kneed down there by, good catch by the way, by Brent Coverdell, and it'll be 1st and 10 at about the 26.
Jim, that was Chad Van Voltenberg from UT. You were over there with
I'm sorry, I was on Moline's side.
Coverdell, though, is a UT name, though, I'll tell you that. There have been some good Coverdells that have played here, but not this particular one. But that's Van Voltenberg there.
That's what I get for watching these little sheets instead of the ones I made out prior to. So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 26. As we have John Banks in motion, and out to the outside is Terry Westbrooks, and he's going to, maybe make it back to the line of scrimmage is about all, Coach.
Well, open it up, try to get the kids out early. On the tackle that time was linebacker John Reedy, ran to the ball real well there. Reedy's 5'8", 222-pound linebacker, read it pretty well.
He's fast and he hits hard, and he's very quick feet. That's what I've watched him in the past. And so it'll be 2nd down and 10 here on the first series of tonight's game. Rafferty comes underneath center. He'll drop back. First pass of the evening, and it's in and out of the hands of R.J. Sievert's guard, and ball's probably a little bit cold.
Well, it would be. Scott Malcolm was there, though, to make a play, but a little quick stop pattern there. Moline's playing a 50 defense tonight, and they've played that over the years, played it real tough, but Panthers are going to try to get that speed on the outside.
Well, Coach,
pretty
explain
quickly
to us what a 50 defense is.
Well, in that particular case, you have 5 down linemen, you have 2 tackles, a nose guard playing right on the center, 2 defensive ends, 2 inside linebackers, and 4 deep, and that's a pretty balanced defense.
It'll be pitched out to Westbrook, and he's taken down for a loss by about 2 yards. And taken down there, it looks like, well, I didn't quite get it. Looks like Camilla, number 22.
And Dustin Woods, number 33, was in on that tackle too, but they defensed that one real well, Jim. They were on that play in a big hurry.
And I think they've seen that play before, probably on tape. That's one of UT's favorite plays. But that'll bring up 4th down, and tonight's first punt, and a nice one indeed. It's going to come down to Matt Camella. He'll need it down there at about the 46-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for the Maroons.
Well, it sure made sense that time for Moline to defer when you get your first possession of the ball game out around the 46-yard line, 46-yard line. That's pretty good strategy. So 1st and 10.
Great starting position for the Maroons. So let's see what they can do on their first possession. And they're in a wishbone backfield with Jay Molina underneath center. And he'll give it off to Benson. Benson up the middle. Well, check that. It wasn't Benson. It was Turner with number 34. He fooled me a little bit, and he picked up about 7 yards.
John Pate, the defensive tackle on the play that time. Panthers have been playing a lot of 4-4 defense throughout the course of this year, but against Moline, traditionally, they like to jump into a 6-2. Explaining that a little bit, you're going with 6 down linemen this time with 2 linebackers, and the purpose of that is pretty much let your linebackers run free. There are not enough bodies to block all of them, and you hope your 2 linebackers can make a lot of plays.
Giving to Turner again, and he's going to squirt up to inside the 45 down to about the 43, so pretty close to that first down, but not, well, yes, indeed, it is a first down. So the Maroons get the first down of the evening, and kind of a gang tackle there. That wishbone, that's why they're going against a front 6, because they're trying to stop that run.
Absolutely. And, of course, Molina is a fantastic quarterback, and if he's healthy, he really makes that offense go. Brian Seals, number 77. If you like to watch a good football player give you 100% every snap, well, take a look at him. He's playing defensive end on the far side of the field right now. He'll give you that effort every time.
Well, Molina once again, and this time it gets it to Turner again. So Turner's been the workhorse so far, and he's been stopped for no gain there. That'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 42.
Stanley was there on that tackle for UT. Adam Flores, a defensive tackle, was there along with several other guys. UT's going to, if they're playing their game, they're going to fill every gap, and it's going to take a runner that can find a little seam somewhere. And so far, that first down series, at least, they did that a few times.
Indeed, they did. Well, Molina now was 2nd down and 10. This may change things. They're still on the wishbone. He looks around a little bit, and he's going to take it himself, and no gain, maybe a half a yard, but that'll bring down 3rd down and give him 1 yard, 3rd down and 9 here at the 41-yard line.
Adam Carton on that play that time, number 50. He's a 6'1", 215-pound junior. Been a 3-year starter. So UT's done a nice job so far.
So far they've shut them down, and at first, that first down went rather easily, and now they've really stiffened up with great field position. Molina now has his, he gives it off to David Benson, the fullback, and David was averaging 6.8 yards per carry, and not going to have enough for the first down. Looks like he's going to be about 3 yards short.
That was a good theory there, though. They spread you out, went with 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field, jumped into the I formation, give you a little inside veer option look. That's something that they can come back to with Molina keeping that ball later on, but they got the fullback loose inside. Big 4th down play. And
they split out Manicky and Goldstone as well out wide. with an I formation. Molina's
your
going to keep
option.
it himself. He can option, and he's going to get the first down inside the 30 down to about the 26. So a good play there, coach, by the Maroons.
Well, that was the companion play to the inside veer, quarterback keeper that time. Of course, they still have the ability to pitch the ball later on if they can get that, but Molina made a great play there.
He's a heads-up quarterback. I mean, he's I've watched him now. I've had the pleasure of watching him and know a little bit about the background of the family and his older brother, and he certainly has filled those shoes as well. He's a good player, and I guess he's a great baseball player, so it'll be fortunate enough to be able to watch him maybe this summer as Benson gets the ball, and I'll give him a half a yard, maybe give him a yard.
Well, one of the things you've noticed so far, the first adjustment that's been made, at least on Moline's part, is that they went with 2 tights and the wishbone to start with, and UT loaded 8 guys in the box up there. So Moline comes out and spreads 2 wideouts, hoping to at least take 2 or 3 guys out of that. But UT hasn't committed to the pass yet out there on those 2 wide receivers. So we'll see here. And Moline's back to the wishbone and go to a double wing this time.
Double wing with Goldstone in motion. And Molina will give it to Benson again. Benson out to the left side, cuts back in, and he'll get a couple yards. Make it third down and a good 7, I guess it's going to be. So again, they're in a third and long here, and they can't keep continuing to do that because, well, that just never works for any team.
No. Well, the good news for Moline fans, at least, is that right now they're definitely in 4-down territory, and they also have a good field goal kicker. So there's the option of getting some points out of this with either 2 more downs.
Well, Molina drops back, and here comes the first pass from him, and it's over the head of David Smith, number 83. That brings up a 4th down. Is Thunderfoot going to come in or not? That's what I call Brent Anderson. He's the kicker, and I've been very impressed by the way he can kick them. He can really nail a football. We'll see if he does come in and for a try here.
Brian LeJeune was on the coverage that time for UT. In warm-ups, he's kicking the ball from about this area, but I saw him kick 2 in a row that didn't quite make it all the way. So my guess is they're going to go for it, and they are.
They are. 4th down with an I-back formation. The end split out, and Molina keeps the ball. He's off to the left side, and he's going to be stopped.
Huge play by LeJeune. Beautiful
play. And that will be a turnover on downs back to the Panthers.
Well, UT's defense did a nice job there with that series. They didn't give Moline any big plays. They made to earn all of it. The bad news is the field position thing is still in Moline's favor because now UT takes over at the 21 or 22-yard line. Mm-hmm. So they're off and running, but the Panthers have the ball back without any points going on the board.
So let's see what happens here on their second series as Rafferty once again looks underneath center. Banks goes in motion, and he gives it off. Well, there's a big pile-up down there. I'd have to say that probably went to LeJeune.
Yep, that's correct.
And I'm sure it was.
Steve Roberts, number 44, was one of the players in on that stop.
6'1", 195-pound linebacker with 6 plays for loss this year. So he's one of those quick ones that gets in there.
They got quick linebackers and some big linebackers do a nice job. UT inside linebackers do a nice job. John Johnson and Ben Sacco both do an excellent job also. So we're seeing some really good linebacker play here.
Say 2nd down on about 9, and Rafferty keeps the ball. He's up to the 34-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down. First down for the Panthers at the 34-yard line. So that was a good play by Rafferty. Cut it back inside and got the first down.
Well, and that's a big play for UT because we talked earlier that if they can sustain a few drives, they'd like to, keep the ball away from Moline a little bit too here. So sustain a little bit and then pop some long runs, and we'll see what happens here.
No, they got 2 ends split out wide this time, kind of a pro set. And they give it off to Westbrooks, and he's taken down, well, maybe about a 3-yard gain on that one. And I can't wait to see him probably break one, actually. I'm looking forward to that because when they played Rock Island, they just more or less got stuffed all evening long, and their speed was nullified by just that huge front line that Rock Island has.
And Moline's got that same potential, but you're just one step away sometimes, and on one night it doesn't happen. The game here with Rock Island was muddy and rainy and everything else. It's a much better track out there tonight.
Let's see. Rafferty goes to Seaver's guard and over his head, and incomplete. So far the ball has sailed a couple times on Rafferty, and that might be just his hands are too cold to hang on to the ball right now.
Man, Molina the same way, and sometimes you're just pumped up for a ball game and the adrenaline's going and you just throw that ball a little farther. But it's a matchup that UT's trying to get. Sieversgaard's 6'5" and 200 pounds, and you put him out there against some of the defensive backs that these teams have. You're looking at man out there. That time number 12 is 5'8", so
that's right.
That's a matchup in UT's favor if you can get the ball down there to him. Look at that play.
Rafferty will keep the play. Well, in fact, Coach, it was given to Westbrooks.
Yep.
I thought Rafferty kept it and given to Westbrooks, and he takes it up to, good gain.
Nice gain.
About fourth down and 2, but I think they're going to have to punt it away at where they're at this point in the game anyways.
Yep. Short yardage like this, though, you never know.
The second punt of the evening for the United Township Panthers. Scott Durbin will go back, and I wonder if he's from the Durbin family that also has some race car drivers. I think he probably is.
It could be. You never know.
Punt is nice, high punt for him. Comes down inside the 30. Fair catch called, and Josh Shadaman will down it there at about the 22-yard line.
Yep. Well, the field position game has changed again, so that's a good plan, and both teams playing very good defense right now.
Well, let's see what happens here on their second possession as they wait for Turner to come onto the field and get into the huddle. Along with Jay Molina, some last words from Coach Dan McGuire, and to see what happens here on their second possession.
Well, now they're going to spread UT all over the field now.
Boy, they've really split them out. 3 wideouts on this one, and it'll be given. Well, Molina keeps it. He's up to about the 25 to the 26, and really crunched right there.
Oh, my.
That was a major hit.
Brian Dennison, number 55, in on a big hit there, along with Carton, number 50. Nice hit.
And Molina hung on, so that's another thing. He very seldom loses a ball. It's good quarterback. I'm very impressed by him. Both teams so far are very impressive on defense. Both teams have moved the ball a little bit. Still trying to feel each other out here early in this first quarter as Molina comes underneath center once again with the full backfield. Benson will get the ball again. Well, check that. Turner had it, and he'll scoot around, maybe give him a yard.
Well, UT's going to jam that middle up, no question about that. And then the key then is make sure that your DBs are hanging to the outside, because really with that 8-man front, there's no place to run. And even though Moline's running power with 2 lead blockers, if you fill that hole with some force, there's no place for the lead blockers to go. Therefore, there's no place for the running back to go. But if you're not playing out on the perimeter like Westbrooks was that particular time, Shadaman, LeJone, those kids in the secondary, there's only 3 of them left, and they better make some plays back there.
That's right, or they're gone. So. Well, I don't know what this formation is called, Coach. You'll have to tell me that after this is over. Molina keeps it again, and he gets it up outside of the 30 to about the 34-yard line.
Big hit that time, I'll tell you. Nathan Bennett, I'm not sure whether he won or lost that battle, but and then let's face it, UT and Moline play football. They're going to be some big contact. It's a perfect night for football. Getting back to your question before, this is all off the old wing T concepts, and they're just running a double wing with a one back, but by putting the guy in motion, you can run him underneath and run power. You can run him deep and get into wing T plays, but they're shifting out of the wishbone to double wing right now.
Okay, now that explains it to the folks. Maybe they didn't know exactly what that was before, and I'm glad I got the coach here with me this evening to explain these things, because that certainly was something I wasn't even aware of myself. Not that I would have been aware of it anyways, but but we can try to fool some of the people some of the time. Well, flag down on the field, first one of the evening, and that might have been a defensive jump.
Yep. Looked like they went on 2 that time, and UT is very aggressive, and sometimes if you can just hold them there for a split second. Now what that does to UT, it kind of locks you back in your stance a little bit. Now you got to wait for the ball to move, and who knows what might happen here for Moline. But
that's right.
But it's a hitter's ball game, that's for sure. That 1st and 5 is a lot easier than 1st and 10, though.
Always is. In the wishbone this time, and it is given off to Turner. Turner up to about the 46-yard line, taken down there by Westbrooks, and he's very active out there on the corner.
Very good player. He's a good story too. He's the kind of kid who all the way through had great athletic talent, but you just needed to kind of put it all in focus. And he's had some wonderful games for UT this year, working real hard. He's a game breaker. He plays both sides of the ball. You got to like that. Of course, you know, I see the UT kids every day, so I know them better than the Moline kids, but I know the Moline kids, talking to Coach Carther and Coach McGuire over there. These guys will come off and hit you, and they're great kids too. That's one of the big things about the Western Big Six.
It's a great conference as far as I'm concerned. They're in the I-back formation this time. Benson gets the ball, and he's not going to get hardly anything.
One thing Moline's been able to do with that, by spreading UT out a little bit, they've got UT out of that 6-man front, and that time they're in a 4-3, then 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. Still, UT's got you outnumbered in the box because you got all your ends and everybody split out, but at least there might be a little more chance to run the ball in there. So the old theory of spread them out and run up the middle is never a bad thought.
Well, now it's decision time for the Maroons, as they have a 2nd down and 9.5, let's call it. And let's see if Molina will throw it up this time. Well, he looks like he's not going. He's going to cut it back inside, take it himself, and get a couple yards, but it's still going to bring up a 3rd and long at about the 49-yard line.
And the Panthers doing a good job of gang tackling. The play that scares me right now off of this formation, if you'll take a look at it next time they come out, with the 2 wide receivers to the Moline sideline, they're pretty much isolating their tight end, which would be the player to our side, against Westbrook, who's very quick, but Westbrook has to also worry about covering the outside. So as he widens, we better be holding this kid up at the line of scrimmage, or he's going to break wide open if they want to throw one in the seam after a fake here, like right there.
Now. And it was over the head. Oh, wow. Well, David Smith once again with one throw overthrown by Molina. So both quarterbacks right now can't get it in the hands of the receivers, and they've had some guys open.
People are going to think now that we're sitting in somebody's living room dubbing this tape later on. They're going to actually think that's happening, but we're out here freezing ourselves like everybody else was.
We were shivering big time.
That's
we're just trying not to let our teeth chatter, or whatever you would call it. So.
Well, so much for calling one. I can just relax the rest of the night now. Just
there you go.
Sit back and watch.
The Shattermans go back deep, Josh and Justin, for the punt from Matt Camilla, number 22, and a timeout called by the Maroons. See, they're the cold god to me. What the hell? We'll
You're
take
from
a break.
Wisconsin, for
Yeah, I
crying out
know.
loud.
Holy smokes. We'll take a break. We'll be back with some more exciting action here. UT against Moline. Okay, as we got the knock on the wall, we're ready to get going again, Coach. That's our signal, I guess. Almost a high snap. It gets it down. Comella just gets it away. Not a bad one. It's going to come down to, well, going to be a fair catch. And no fair catch at all. They just let it drop inside at about the 28-yard line.
Those are the ones that really make you nervous, because you got kids coming back there to block for you, and a short kick could hit anybody down there. They had both Shattermans back there that time to return the kick, and if they'd have touched it, they both have great speed. So Moline did a good job.
Well, they're tough, too. I mean, they're 5'4", 145 pounds, but I noticed they really, a lot of leg drive. They don't give up. They keep those legs pumping, and that's a sign of really good runners.
Yeah. Well, we're at the end of the first quarter. We've had so much fun. We've worn out a quarter already.
I guess so. So with that, the first quarter, the score 0-0, and we'll be back after this. Okay, start out of the second quarter. Score all tied up, 0-0. It's a brand new ball game. As Rafferty brings the Panthers out for the start of the second quarter. He'll take it himself as the man downfield was covered, and he'll get himself about 3 yards. Let's give him.
Moline did a beautiful job of covering downfield. You talk about it wasn't a sack because Rafferty scrambled and gained some yardage, but when he pulled up to look, there was nobody open. Banks that time had a nice pattern, but Moline covered it beautifully.
One thing with Rafferty, he's 6 foot, and he can see over the heads of a lot of the defenders, so he made a quick decision. He saw that he was double covered out there and took it himself, get what he can, and try it out here on second down. So second down about 7 for the Panthers as Rafferty once again comes underneath, split back, and looks, I didn't even catch who got the ball, but he got creamed, whoever
Straight
it was
dive,
down
probably
below
Westbrook's,
there.
unless they've got a different guy in there. That's his side anyway. Yeah.
And definitely Terry Westbrook's with the carry, and well, no gain, we'll give that one.
Yeah, he got stood up real quick. Nose guard that time made a real good play getting in there. Is that Lermany? Is that his name?
Lermany,
yeah,
right.
Matt. He was in there real quick.
And he's one of their big tacklers on the team, and first pass completed of the evening, and that's going to go out to John Banks, number 5.
Well, it's going to be a tough spot. That's going to be real close to a first down out here. Really nice coverage by Moline, but forward progress might give him enough for a first down.
He's a pretty big target. He's 6'2", 175.
Right.
So,
well, and earlier, if you'd have been to the UT games early, he was the starting quarterback for the first 3 ball games. Did a nice job in that role, and Rafferty just kind of has taken over that position, and it allows him now to play as a wide receiver and does an excellent job.
well, then he's double trouble because he can do that end around and a bit still be able to pass it downfield, and first down for the Panthers.
Yep. Oh, the spotters up here had right on that one.
They are
were right
good.
on that one. You know, talk about Moline's statistics. You know, in the Western Big Six, Benson has done an excellent job. He's the second leading rusher in the Western Big Six with about a 6.8 average, 250 yards. LeJeune for UT is in there 4th with 246 yards. He carries a 9.8 average. So there's some kids in the conference at least that are running out there and doing nice. Look at LeJeune.
And LeJeune, he might break it outside. He's to the 50. Down to the 40, to the 30, and he'll be taken out there at the 27-yard line. A great run there, and taken out by Brent Anderson, number 7.
Boy, that cutback is quite a play. They run the straight dive, and a nice cutback by LeJeune.
Looks like about a 35-yard carry on that one, and that was, well, that's what I've been waiting to see out of the UT squad, that big breakaway by one of the backfield, and boy, he did it there.
He hit it that time, and he came back against the grain, and just lucky Anderson has some speed too to stop a touchdown. Shadaman.
The Shadaman, number 1, gets it, and he's quick. And he was taken down by Camella. Camella is also one of those very, very quick backfield players.
Yep. Josh Shadaman did a beautiful job again, and the Panthers with the quick hitters, and if you can just get into that secondary, there's a chance to run.
They don't need much of an opening, and that's what I see. They get that little bit of gap in there, and that's all they need to get through there. So they're very quick to the line, and that really makes for an explosive offense.
Absolutely.
Well, now they're starting to spread out the Moline defense as well. It's pitched out to Shadaman. He's to the 20, down to about maybe the 16-yard line.
Well, UT's found a little soft spot there on that corner because by splitting out number 31, Rodney Blue, and he ran the defender off, they're real soft on that corner. When you got that kind of speed, you don't need to have a big opening there.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Mann with the tackle on that. That'll be second down, or wait a minute, maybe that's, did he get a first down on that? I guess I lost track. They're getting so many first down, you're in a hurry that it's first and 10 at the 16.
Now let's see how the UT moves the ball down here. This is where it gets real tough defensively. Moline's going to see if they can step it up and make a play here. Or UT is going to jump offside.
Jump offside. That's what's going to happen. Well, that's going to happen too. I guess they're getting excited, and
absolutely.
Sometimes those things happen.
We know one thing: the young man didn't do that on purpose. So
no, he didn't.
No, and he's probably been one of those guys that have made good blocks to get him to this spot right now. So he'll get her done. He'll get her done, but Moline, that helps a little bit at first and 15.
Oh, first and 15, and now they're just outside of the, as we call it, the red zone. Ryan Rangel, number 83, splits out wide. A pro set, I guess you would call it, in the backfield.
Spread them out, run up the middle.
And that's given to Brian LeJeune. And
Real
he'll
good
get back
there.
about 5 of those yards, so make it second down. Well, maybe about 4. Make a second down and 11.
Talk about the unsung heroes of the game. Inside for UT, Matt Harmon is the center. John Johnson and Flores are the guards. Carton and Seals are the tackles, and they're doing an excellent job of getting off that football right now.
And they're not that big. I mean, that's one thing about the UT squad. Is
D'Amico Vallejo.
And he's down 2 inside the 5-yard line. Looks like it down about the 4.
Man, and that ball looked like it went under somebody.
I thought at first it was picked off, and unbelievable.
Well, they're gonna. Well, Moline's gonna call timeout right now.
Well, I don't blame them. I think they're back on their heels, and they want to get things straightened around. So with that, we'll take another break. One of our other sponsors, Internet Revealed, your Quad Cities internet provider. Boys are back in from the timeout, and Moline takes that timeout, Coach. I think, again, they were back on their heels a little bit. They needed that to get settled down.
Well, UT's made some good plays, and, boy, they're motivated right now inside that 10-yard line.
Well, Rafferty, he'll give it off.
Well, that's close.
Looks like LeJeune, and he's very close.
It might have been Shadaman in there. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, I couldn't see. Right now, I'm at a disadvantage because I can't see that far. So,
Josh, I think it's Josh Shadaman, I think.
Josh Hammond, he can hide underneath them big guys, and they can't see him. So at his height, that's probably an advantage for him.
And with he and Justin, they're 5'4" and 145 pounds, but they're solid kids. So second, they say 1 yard.
So second and goal, and Rafferty will take it himself. And we got ourselves the first touchdown of the evening. Ryan Rafferty with a 1-yard plunge to make it 6-0.
It was a nice drive. Panthers took that ball down the field. They used the clock. They moved the ball with some big plays and used their quickness, but they also were able to move the ball and use some time here. We got 7:51 to go in the second quarter, and a beautiful drive to put the Panthers on top 6-0.
So in for the try is Scott Durbin. Holding it is Ryan Rangel, number 83.
LeJeune is the snapper.
Ball is down, and it is no good. Well, geez, from here I thought it went through the uprights, but apparently it went off to the left side.
Yep.
So 6-0 here, and we'll take a short break and be back with the kickoff. As we get set for the kickoff from Van Voltenberg, back to Camilla. And it'll come, well, it's short, and I didn't even see where it came down. Coach, somebody's got it.
About the 30
and
flag
coming in
comes
late.
down,
Yep. So apparently a block in the back, I'm sure, probably.
Well, that's usually what happens in there, unless you get a face mask someplace, but more than likely a block in the back. But Panthers rolling the ball down the field, making sure the speed from Moline doesn't get a chance to go with that. So looks like a great field position for Moline may turn into not so great position as soon as we get done walking this penalty off.
Well, I haven't even seen the signal, but they're walking them back. So back to about the 29-yard line, so it'll be first down and 10 from the 29. And now the Maroons know they're in a game.
Absolutely. And Moline's moved the ball well. They just had some negative plays where they get go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 8, where the Panthers have been going 1st and 10, 2nd and 2, and then a 25-yard run. So we'll see how the Maroons react to this.
Well, Turner splits out wide here, and that's kind of unusual, so let's watch and see if Molina has a play for him. And, of course, they go the opposite direction.
Yep.
And they give it to Goldstone. Goldstone, a very tough runner. He'll take it up past the 31-yard line.
Carton.
And it'll be second down and 7.
Carton was there for UT. Number 40, Ben Sacco, was there for UT. UT kids were under that football. They do a nice job. Let's get the lineman from Moline in here right now. Tom Bowman's at center. Mac Jumps at one guard. Turkmani is the other guard. White and Amundsen play the tackles. And David Smith, David Ryan, and Brian Manicky play the ends, run plays in for Coach. And so that's a good offensive line also.
Yes, they are. And they've been playing together almost all season.
Right.
Turner goes in motion. And Benson will get it, but he is going absolutely nowhere. He's going to lose a yard back to the 30, so it'll make it 3rd down and 8.
Well, the Panthers are swarming to that pile right now. My gosh.
They're fired up.
Yeah, no question about that. And they're well prepared, And, of course, both these teams are. We haven't talked about coaching staffs yet, but we probably should get the list of coaches in there with Coach Tracy. Of course, he's got Ernie Jack, John McCormick, Jay Morrow, Jeff Braun, and Jeff Smallbach with the varsity staff. For Coach McGuire, we'll get that group as soon as this play is over. Shotgun.
Millie goes back in the shotgun for the first time this evening. Ooh, it looked like somebody jumped, and I think it was Manicky out here on the left side, number 86.
Well, sometimes if you're not in the shotgun very much, the coordination between that snap is kind of unusual. Fort Moline gives a chance to get through their coaching staff, though, so that's not a bad plan.
There we go.
There we go. Dan McGuire, of course, is the head coach. Paul Carther and Kevin Gorgel, Dave Lindstrom, Joel Reiser, Crick Santamore, and Kelly Wynn make up that staff for Moline. And again, we're blessed here with not only good football players, but in this conference, some fantastic coaches, and over in the MAC, of course, and in all the areas. This area is blessed with outstanding coaches at the big schools, the small schools. Some great games tonight. Of course, by the time you see this, you're going to know who won the Geneseo-Dixon game, but that should be a fantastic ball game.
Something else.
Also, so some great coaching going on, and the kids really play hard.
Moline looking downfield. He's being harassed, and he's going to break away. He gets away, but he'll be brought down at the 26. And for a loss of 4 yards, make it 4th down and 10, and the Maroons are going to have to punt it away. So that series came up with Zippo.
Yeah, and Josh Stanley from UT, number 73, didn't make the tackle, but he eliminated the opportunity for Molina to get loose. And the bad news for the Maroons is they've got to kick the ball away, and you got both Shadowmen standing down here waiting for this thing. So
and Camelo punted, number 22, both the Shadowmens, and yes, sir, I'd be very fearful of these nice high punt coming down to.
Got a chance.
Justin
Wallace set up on the far side.
The 64, and he's up to the 40. He cuts back to the inside and tries to make it up to the middle.
Oh, my.
And back up to almost the 50 yards. So I tell you what, those legs are pumping hard and fast, and a good return of about 15 yards.
I'll tell you, Joel Goldstone from Moline did an outstanding job because he was the only guy on that side of the wall that had any chance. If it had got past him, the Panthers had set the wall up to the Moline sideline, and he could have gone all the way.
Yes, he could. Goldstone is one of those real good players. He's a sophomore, and he plays both ways. He's a super player. Look forward to a couple more years out of him. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers as Rafferty comes underneath center, gives to Russ Brooks. He comes over to the left side and taken down immediately for a 1-yard loss.
Well, Roberts was in on that one for sure. 44, 33 was also there, and that's Dustin Woods. He's a defensive end who must have worked himself out into that area also.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers as they lead at 6-0 here.
4:39 to go here in the second quarter.
So a pro set for Rafferty, and he gives it off to LaJoy, and he sends it downfield. It's going to be intercepted by, well, you could almost see that one set Brent Anderson. And that's one thing I got to say about the Maroons. They really have some tough defensive back. Those kids are on the ball, and that one was kind of up in the air, up for grabs, and a pretty easy interception.
Well, it's something you work on, with the speed of Lejeune and Westbrooks and those guys. All of a sudden you hand it to him, and if a lesser defensive back would have stepped up and tried to make the stop on the sweep, and it didn't happen. Lejeune, early in the year, he was projected as maybe being the starting quarterback as far as putting him into action there. So he's played in that position a little bit before.
He's a little bit upset with himself, but that's okay. He gave it a hard try. That's what it's all about.
Well, they made the corner.
It's given off to Goldstone, and Goldstone up to about the 25-yard line, and pretty close to should have the 1st down.
Well, that's a nice gain that time.
Almost 15 yards on that one, and he's a sophomore, and like I said, Coach, he's a good one. 4.6 yards per carry, and plus he's a great receiver.
Yeah, it's only about a 9-yard gain that time, Jim. But
I'm sorry.
But still, it was a good run.
Nobody ever said I could see. So
well, you're from where?
Wisconsin.
That's what I thought you said earlier.
I have an accent, So we'll see what happens here. 2nd down and 2.
Yikes. Pass.
And it's caught by Goldstone, like I just said, and Goldstone's going to take it up to the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 50. He can run it, he can catch it, and he can make tackles. He's an all-around good player.
Well, and too, if you watch that play develop, both receivers were covered real well. I mean, it wasn't like they had anybody as a flood pattern in that right flat. and the UT defenders were out on it. But it was a perfect pass. The only guy that could have caught it was Moline, and Westbrook speed's the only thing that saved him from an even longer gain.
I think Jay Molina's getting warmed up, a little bit upset with himself on some of those earlier passes. Let's see what happens here. As it's given off to, I think, Goldstone again. He'll get a couple.
Man, there's some hitting going on out there.
Some really hard hitting. And it was Goldstone with the carry and taken down by a bunch of...
Yeah. John Johnson was in the middle of that stuff. Dennison was in the middle of that. Josh Stanley was in the middle of that play.
So second down and about 7 here for the Maroons. As they're starting to march a little bit here. Maybe the fireworks is finally going to start happening for both teams. They just waited for somebody to score. Now they're all loosened up and ready to go make this a great football
Well, and if you
game.
appreciate defense, you're seeing great defense on both teams out here right now. They're flying the ball. They're filling the gaps.
And it's given to Benson, and he'll pick up a couple more yards down inside the 45, down to about the 44.
Moline's doing a good job, Coach McGuire and his staff, of play calling right now. It's a situation where the opportunities there, UT's closing it down inside, and they're finding the soft spots off tackle, and the plays aren't designed necessarily to go out there. That one was. But always got to be mindful that, and the Molina family over the years have really hurt UT in games like this with quarterback keepers and option things and things like that. But as UT makes a play here on third down,
Molina with Goldstone and Manicky split out wide to the right. It'll be tossed out to Turner. He'll take it up to the 45.
Oh my!
He breaks
Ran
it loose,
right
down
through
to the 35,
players.
down to the 30, inside the 25, down to about the 24.
Oh my!
Super run by Turner, number 34, Larry Turner. A sophomore, 5.4 yards per carry. Well, that was a pass play, so...
Well, you know, I'm not sure it was or not. It may have been a lateral.
Might have been a lateral.
It looked like he might have been behind him at the time, but either way, he ran right through two good defenders out there. We're closing in on the 2-minute mark, Jim, in the half here. So Moline's making a drive. They've got a timeout left, one timeout left. They had to use, look out.
Turner again, and he'll take it inside the 20 down to about the 17, and he's starting to get his wheels underneath him as well.
Linebacker John Johnson that time saved a touchdown for UT.
Larry Turner replaces a player that left the team a few weeks ago, and I tell you what, he's done an outstanding job.
Real nice job.
And he's only a sophomore.
Big wide line splits on this left side of their line. Trying to find a way to get through there.
And Goldstone gets the ball down to about the 15.
Close, though, to the first down. Probably short by about a yard. 1:36 to go in the half. Moline may wish they had that one timeout back that they had to use. If you remember right, they didn't have enough guys on the punt team out here and had to use a timeout to get the 11th guy on. Then they used one on their defensive stand down there that didn't help much either, evidently.
That's right.
But they've got one timeout left, and there's 1 minute, 18 seconds to go, and the clock's running.
David Ryan brings in that play to Jay Molina, and a single, well, let's see.
Tight double wing.
Tight double. Goldstone will get the pitch, and he'll take it down to the 10-yard line, and that should be enough for the first down. So first and 10 at the 10-yard line for the Maroons.
Of course, the clock stops now with the first down, and it'll be stopped until they set the chain. So Moline will not have to use a timeout here. UT's going to have to stop. I don't think there's any question about that. I think they're not going to run out of time, I don't believe.
Well, I think if it comes down to it, I think the advantage goes to the Maroons as far as kickers. Wouldn't you agree, Coach, on that?
Oops, we got something going on here. Yeah, well, it's so far because, obviously in some of the earlier games, Moline was kicking field goals and things like that. And UT missed their first extra point. So now a mistake by Moline makes it a first down and 15. Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure. I got a real good view of the wall right now, so that's...
Hey, that happens to everybody.
So the coach will have to help me out here. I can see the football, and that's about it. So, but we'll get that straightened out come the second half.
Oh, heavens, yes. No, they're not supposed to do stuff right down here in this corner anyway, so...
Turner goes in motion.
Yes.
Molina will keep it. He drops back, looks downfield. He throws it. It's wide open. Goldstone inside the 5 down to about the 4.
Tackle that time by UT. Ben Sacco, he was there. Moline is going to use their last time out with 27.8 seconds to be exact, Jim. So
they're going to have to punch it in now or never, I guess, or have to go for the field goal.
Right.
I think in high school they're just not quite as organized as they are probably in college and pro ball, where they can use the advantage of the clock as well as they can once they jump up to those other levels. So 27 seconds seems like quite a bit, but I think that time clock runs out pretty fast.
Well, the problem they're going to have is that for Moline is if they get stopped in bounds here on this particular play, they can't reorganize and run out there and spike the ball, because they will spike the ball on 4th down. So consequently, that's not an option for them right now. So they're going to have to either call 2 plays in the huddle or run a passing play where Molina can use his speed to either get out of bounds and or throw the ball away or hit an open receiver, of course. So a running play right up the middle right now would still probably have enough time with 27-8. You probably could run 2 plays here, but the fact you have to really hustle on that 4th down play may or may not be what Coach really wants right now. So watch for Molina to have his hands on this ball somewhere along the line. Well, obviously he's the quarterback. He's bound to have it in his hands at least once, huh?
Well, yeah, that's indeed. Well, he has a lot of options. I mean, he can run it, he can pass it, he can pitch it out. And he's quite a player, so let's see what he decides to do here as Goldstone goes into motion. He gives it off to Goldstone. They're going to stop him at the 1-yard line.
At the 1, and Moline's got to hustle. 21 seconds to go.
They still have time, and I think let's see what happens here.
Only going to be 3rd down. Okay, he could spike this thing now. He can spike this thing.
3rd down, and let's see, and he does.
There he goes.
So he'll spike it, stop the clock.
Yeah, I'm about to play ahead.
10.5 seconds left in the half. Boy, I can't get any more exciting than
this. 4th down. Now, what you don't want to do, Jim, here at UT
go backwards.
is get so excited you come off of level A down to level B here.
That would not be a good thing.
That would be not good. No. Then there'd be a brand new voice in the second half.
Yeah, I'd probably lose my Wisconsin accent on that one. So, well, let's see what happens here as they have 10.5 seconds. Boy, this is exciting. Can't get any better than this.
Man, Moline could get a 1st down here. So the potential, they got 3 receivers to the right.
I think Molina's going to take it and carry it himself, and he'll dive up and over for a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable, Coach. That's what you call wanting it.
Well, I tell you, he wanted that goal line, knew exactly where it was at. So, wow. With 4.5 seconds to go, Jim, Moline ties the ball game up.
Unbelievable. Now we can only hope that Jess got that on camera. That's what we got to hope for.
Is Jess awake? Oh, no, he's over there. He's no concern there. You know, he's the best cameraman we got. You know
yes, he is. He's the only one.
So, I got it. I was trying to build up his spirits a little bit.
So Anderson will try for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. Ooh. So the Maroons take the lead going into halftime, leading it 7-6 here at an exciting game this evening. Well, I guess there's 4.5 seconds left. And so we'll get a kickoff, and you never know.
No, you don't know. And the key is with speed of UT, if anybody picks that ball up, because they've got 6 or 7 kids that have great speed. That's one of the things that Coach Tracy, in all the years he's coached, he thinks this is probably the quickest group he's ever had, and that means you're always in the game. The bad news, again, the good news for Moline, of course, is that by deferring in the first half, not only did Moline go ahead 7-6, but the potential is there that they'll have another score on the board before UT even gets the ball in the second half. So
exactly.
A long return here. I'm going to just take a wild guess that the ball's not going to be kicked deep. I wouldn't do that, but
I think Anderson was well informed to keep that on the ground, keep it away from those.
Absolutely.
6 fast guys right back here at the 20 and the 10-yard line.
There's a big gap, though, between the 50 and the 20, so a little pop over that front line, Moline could end up with the ball if you're not careful. But my guess is this ball's going to go on the ground. And
he's just going to kick it up on the top half of the football and skivvy it on down there.
I'll tell you, if you're on the Moline sideline right now, you're not breathing real easy right now. There's still the potential.
And there it is down on the ground. And, boy, there is a big gap right there, and it's going to get taken by
Von Voltenberg.
And he'll drop it down. That will end the first half. Well, it's been a good one. First half, Moline Maroons 7, the United Township Panthers 6.
Well, we're here at halftime with Marty Sanders, who is the coach at Westmore High School, and we're real proud of him and the job he's doing down there, but he's getting a chance to see UT. Let's talk first of all about the game tonight between UT and Moline. What are your impressions of how things are going tonight?
Well, it's a classic Western Big Six matchup, and again, it's hard hitting. A lot of offensive ball control, or trying to keep the other team's offense off the field. And again, the defenses have shown that they're gonna come to play tonight. And I think it's going to turn into who makes the least amount of mistakes, and whose special teams defense is going to come out in the second half and win this ball game.
I agree. I think there'll be some big plays in the second half. Take a look at UT offensively. What's impressed you so far?
Well, again, they're really flying off the ball. They might be a little bit outmatched with their size, but right now they're really dominating. I think they're getting off the line of scrimmage, and those quick hitters, I think, are going to be coming back to really help them out. It doesn't seem like they can get the corner on them so far, but I think with that dive, maybe a little bit of a dive option, if they've got that second back through, possibly could get them some big yards. And again, they're just looking to control the clock. They've kind of jumped off sides there a little bit, and they got themselves in a situation where they had been in some long third down situations. But if they can get out of that, they should be all right.
Okay, and Moline, the offense that they're running tonight looks fairly similar, and their game plan, as you see it, what do you think they're going to do in the second half?
Well, the same thing, and I think that they're going to obviously go back to that flood pattern. They're going to get them, hopefully, again, we don't have our DBs sucking up into the box, but right now they're looking like they're going to be able to get that first back, second back through, and that power game is always in contention. And then they got that play action, a boot pass off of that look, which is, again, hard to defend, especially if you ask your DBs to come up on option responsibilities and do anything like that.
As a high school player, you played the defensive secondary and like to come up out of the secondary and hit people. You said the hitting is pretty impressive, but being away from Western Big Six football for a while, it's kind of exciting to see those guys flying around like that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There's a definite change of pace. For where we're at Westmore, we pride ourselves in the way we hit, too. We feel that we are real competitive, but I'll tell you what, Western Big Six hitting is unlike others in the area.
Right. We had an opportunity to coach up at Sycamore, and then with the big boys up there with Morris and some of those guys. So the hitting, Oswego, of course, our fans here had a chance to see Oswego last year, so you're familiar with that group. Give us a quick idea of what fans would see if they went to Westmore to see a football game.
Well, again, we're going to just kind of line them up and try to smack in the mouth a little bit. We really pride ourselves in hitting and our physical play. We also like the opportunity to have you come down and kind of implement a lot of the systems that we ran here at UT, and we're real proud of the guys down there, and we're real excited about a homecoming tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, and we're going to go after Lexus, and you're going to see a lot of solid, hard-hitting football down there, and a lot of good competition at Lincoln Trail Conference down that way. You got a lot of quality schools, a lot of quality coaches down in that area as well.
Well, thank you for coming up and watching the ball game. You've enjoyed your stay in the press box, kept warm, and have been eating cookies and things like that. So come back anytime except when you're playing a game down there. So we'll break now. We'll be back with second half action in just a few minutes.
Well, welcome back for our start of the second half as we're about to get set going. First half, Maroons lead at 7-6 over the Panthers. Total yards, Moline 136, UT 94. It's been a defensive struggle, Coach.
It really has been. And, some of the stats that we have individually, Turner from Moline has 33 yards and 7 carries. Molina, 7 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. Dave Benson has 6 carries for 12 yards. And Joel Goldstone has 6 carries for 23 yards. So nobody's just taken off and run up and down the field. Molina is 3 for 6 passing for 48 yards for the Panthers. Westbrooks, who we talked earlier about, he's the game breaker. He's had 6 touches and a total of 5 yards.
Unbelievable.
On the other hand, LeJones only touched the ball 3 times. He's got 40 yards. Rafferty has 3 touches for 15 yards and a touchdown. And Josh Shadaman has 3 carries for 14 yards. In the passing department, Rafferty is 2 for 4 for 20 yards. So it has not been, if you're in here to watch this ball game and see wide open offense, you may have been disappointed in the first half, but if you like hard hitting, great defensive football, then you must have really enjoyed that. So welcome back, and we're ready for the second half.
Well, we've had a little bit of both, a lot of defense, but some good offensive plays as well, as both quarterbacks, I think, are starting to get warmed up a little bit. We're about to get the second half underway. Moline did defer to the second half, so not only did they score at the end, they'll get the football first here in the second half. Turner will be back deep, along with Camilla. And I can't quite see who the other one is, but we'll try to get him.
I wanted to say it's Goldstone back there, but I haven't got a good look at his number yet, but I think that's who's back there also. Ball's probably going to be on the ground again.
I would imagine so.
Well, we're halfway there. A huge game in the Western Big Six. Doesn't get much closer than this, so let's just see how the second half shakes out.
Well, very crucial for the Maroons to win this one, actually, because they're in a fight just to get into the playoffs.
Yes, absolutely. Everything's a playoff game right now for Moline.
And Van Voltenberg kicks it away. He'll be picking it up by, well, just the guy that we didn't have there. And he'll take it out to the 22 and cream there.
Oh, my.
As he really got hammered.
Ben Sacco just jumped him big time out there. But
Thomas Irvin III. He probably is Thomas Irvin IV now, as they kind of split him in half there. So,
well, I'll tell you what, he got up in it. But if anybody wondered whether they're going to be able to continue hitting into the second half, well, that was just answered. So
certainly was.
Let's get rolling here now.
You can't ask for any more than that when they have hard hits in a high school game. And Molina on the first series, they are in a wishbone backfield. And he gives it off, I think it's to Goldstone, and he'll pick up a couple. Make it 2nd down and 8.
If you got a chance to replay that, run that back one time on your VCR, because Johnson that time, number 63 for UT, they were in a pinch defense, which meant that everybody worked to the inside, which means your linebacker has to fill on the outside edge, and he was standing right there. John was standing right there waiting for that play and made the tackle. You know, when you do it right, it really looks good. Now, if he'd have taken a step up inside and gone for the first fake or something like that, there'd have been a huge hole outside. So great play and well disciplined.
Stay in your lanes and well disciplined.
That's exactly right.
Well, they got a 3-wide set, and Molina comes out to the left side, and he'll pick up a couple more very close to the first down as he tumbles over the 30-yard line. And I'm not exactly sure if he got the, well, depends upon where they're going to spot it. I guess they're going to call him down at the 29. I thought he got outside of the 30. They're calling him down at the 29. So that'll be 3rd down. Oh, I guess about 4.
Yeah, they're going to call it 3 or 4 yards to go. Josh Shadaman that time made a great play because he was the only one out there, and he got off a block real quick and made a nice play.
The 3rd down as Turner goes in motion, and it's given up inside to Benson, and Benson looks like he's got the 1st down.
You know, Moline's doing a good job mixing the plays up. They've come off tackle, they've gone right up the middle, they've gone wide, and while they're not gaining a lot of yards, it took them all 3 plays to get that 1st down, but they've still got the ball, and UT's not running all over the field with it right now.
That's right. They got Benson, the power runner, up the middle. They have Turner with the speed on the outside, and Goldstone can do it all, being a receiver or in the backfield as well. So 1st and 10 for the Maroons at the 32. Early here in the second half as Molina will keep it again, and he'll get a couple yards. There was good leg drive, and he gets it past the 35-yard line.
Seals that time and Carton on the play, and again, they're working hard down inside. Looked like they might have been slanting that time to field, and that left the defensive end out here all by himself, but he didn't go for the fake and was right there to make the play. For the young quarterbacks out there, if you have a young quarterback in the family, watch Molina execute that ball. It's hard to tell who's got it, and he comes out several times, and it looks like he's got it, and he doesn't, and that's what you need to do.
That's right. I got a guy up here hitting me across the head, telling me that's 34 with the ball or what. No, I'm just kidding. But he does do a great job taking it out of that ball.
Yeah,
He's doing it off to Turner on a pitch, and Turner will cut it inside, and, well, not too much gain, up to just outside of the 40. where he's taken down there by a host of Panther players.
Well, I'll tell you, they did a nice job executing that time. Molina might have given the ball up just a second too early because the Panthers had 4 or 5 guys on the outside. But, boy, you know, I bet at least 3 guys jumped the fullback that time.
Yes,
and when people don't know, you know, that's why we've always liked, myself as a coach, I liked offenses where it was hard to tell who had the football because it's just simple. If you pitch it to the tailback, you got 11 guys on defense chasing the tailback.
Right.
Anybody can do that. But when you don't know where the fullback's got it, the quarterback's got it, this guy's got it, makes it a lot more difficult. This play here is easier to defend a little bit because you know who's got the ball right away.
And he got it immediately and taken down immediately after about a 2-yard gain. Well, that's going to be pretty close to the first down, though. Very, very close. I'm going to say he got it. How's that?
Man.
I think it was Goldstone that had, or it could have been Turner as well. I didn't quite catch even who had the ball, though. Bring out the sticks to measure this one. It is very, very close from our vantage point, and I'm going to say he got it by about 2 inches.
Okay.
They always say that on TV,
They do
so
it.
since we're on TV, we might as well try it as well.
Well, the big guys do that, so why shouldn't you? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And you are absolutely right.
Unbelievable. Well, there I go.
There you go. Eyes of an eagle.
I'm 1 for 12 this season. That's not too bad. So, 1st and 10 for the Maroons.
Wow.
As we get set to go with their
They
first
let
series.
you out of Wisconsin?
Yeah, they did. They kind of forced me out of there.
It was one of those things.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that. You know,
we
we'll
don't.
let the fans just. Next week. Tune in next week. You get the rest
we'll get
of the
all
story.
down to it. Yeah. Well, Molina with the
Power
ball.
again.
He gives it up to. Well, looks like Goldstone this time again, and very little, about 2 yards. Give them 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8, as they're marching it ever so slowly here on their first possession.
Well, we're down to 8 minutes to go in this third quarter, too, and Moline's had the ball the whole quarter and haven't got to midfield yet.
That's right.
UT hasn't touched it either. Moline, it appears like they've kind of said, well, let's just see if we can just ram that ball in there and see how tough we are compared to how tough UT is, and I think it's a stalemate.
It is right now.
Panthers are still flying around the ball. With this wide receiver set, though, there's a little more running room inside.
Turner goes in motion. Molina will keep the ball. He'll cut it up inside, and he'll just get a couple, so it's going to bring out another long, 3rd down and long here. 3rd down and about 6.
Johnson that time for the Panthers was there. Sacco was there for the Panthers along with Seals, who chased that play down from the backside.
When I played at coach, we didn't have all these fancy plays. We just kind of lined up and went into the middle and got killed and then went back and tried it all over again. But you know, our coach was pretty creative back then. He says, quarterback, you take the ball, you give it to this guy behind you, and everybody run forward. And if you hit somebody, great. If you don't, let the other guy
I
cream
can't imagine
him.
a coach coaching like that. I preferred the more wide open style myself.
Pass goes out, too. It looks like Goldstone. Well, check that.
Oh, number 83 out there that time for Moline.
That's David Smith with his first catch of the evening.
Nice job.
Did a good job.
I had an assistant coach one time worked with me, and he says, when you came in here, he says, you said you're going to have every conceivable play. And he says, I've been with you a year now. He says, you have every conceivable running play. So we did not have an aerial circus here when we were at UT and running our offense here. One of our quarterbacks years ago, I'd always ask them in pregame warm-up if they were ready to, if their arm was loose, they're ready to go. And finally, the kid started for 3 years for us, and he had enough courage one time to say, Coach, I'm not going to throw to the second half anyway, so what difference does it make if I'm loose now? Look at this run.
Molina breaks loose. He's got the first down. He's inside the 30 down to about the, let's see where they're going to mark it. It looks like at about the 27, so another first down very quickly. Back-to-back first downs for the Maroons as they're marching now on the Panthers.
Yeah, well,
I got to take that back. My coach was actually probably one of the best high school coaches in the state of Wisconsin, Dick Rundle, and I had the good fortune of being coached under him, and as a freshman, the first freshman at the high school that I went to play varsity football, and it was quite an experience.
Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations on that. They did have more than 11 boys in the school, didn't they?
Yeah, 12. Oh. So it. And,
oh boy, this is a tough crowd.
First down.
Didn't want your head to get too big, Jim.
No,
I kind of slow you down on that just
That's
a little
right.
bit. But
yeah, no, holy moly. Hey, that warmed me up a little bit. Thanks, Coach. So down to the 25 on first down. It'll be a 2nd down and about 7.
It does look really like Moline has decided we're going to use our big boys up front, and we're just going to keep blasting it. If you can, and if UT can stand up to it, they're going to be all right. And so far, they're doing a nice job. But one play out of every 4 seems like Moline is kind of squirting through there. But it's real physical in the trenches right now.
They're playing some serious smash mouth right now as Molina comes up underneath center. And is he going to keep it? Indeed he does, and well, you know, he's just quick enough with those feet that he can avoid that first tackle, and he'll pick up a couple yards. It looked like he was going to be caught in the backfield. They'll bring up 3rd down, though, however, and 5 yards.
Well, they're 4-down area right now. That's the good news for the Moline fans here, that they've got a couple to go here. Again, plays by the Panthers out there. It right now is when, if you're going to break the discipline, if you're going to go try to help out your buddy, and that's one of the plays there. If Seals, for example, would have gone back inside that time to try to help his buddies, Molina would have come out of there all by himself. So.
Exactly. Goldstone goes in motion. Molina comes out to the left side. He'll cut it back up inside. He's not going to get the first down.
Oh, my.
But he'll be down there within about 2 yards.
Sacco was in on that play that time. Dennison was there for UT also. This is one of those
decision times.
Yeah. Now, I don't think Moline, the field goal is not going to do them a whole lot of good at this point in time, 7-6. But I'm going to guess they're going to go for it. But who's going to end up with the football? That's the key.
That's right. Yeah, he's got a long 2 yards, make it a short 3. And, well, they got a lot of options, though, down here, too, as well. They've in a wishbone once again.
6-2 defense by the Panthers. They're going to try to jam it up in there.
And
Power
it's going to be
football.
Goldstone with the ball, and he's the guy with the power.
Looks like he made it through there.
Very close to a first down, and I think he has it. I think he had to get down to about the 22, and he got down to inside the 21. It should be first and 10.
Big play by Moline, and they're liking that power football. As I was saying earlier, maybe coming into halftime, said, boys, you know, even though we're sitting there thinking it's a very physical game, maybe for the Moline group, they said, hey, we're not physical enough. So Coach Tracy's going to come out and visit with the Panthers right now, take a timeout, and let's just see how this thing turns out.
Well, with that, we'll take a timeout as well. We'll be back with some more exciting football playing going on here at United Township here this evening. They could. Well, as we get set to go again here after our timeout, we're pretty quick on those timeouts, aren't we?
Well,
Turner will get it, and he'll get a couple down inside the 15 down to about the 13, where his legs were cut on from underneath him there.
Little handback action that time, a counter play. Moline has pretty much been running out of that wishbone, and where the fullback goes, everybody goes, and sometimes you get real key happy on that. And that time, the fullback and the wingback and then running back on this side, or on that went one way, and this guy comes back against the grain. But again, if you're a disciplined defense, you don't really care what they're doing in the backfield. You've got a gap to cover. Just stick your nose in there and tackle somebody.
By that formation, Molina's just telling them, hey, we're going to run it right down your throats. And it didn't work that time, as if he got a yard, that's about all he got. Goldstone with the carry.
Well, this has been an exceptional drive by Moline. It's been really very, very good defense by the Panthers. It's we got 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Moline's had the ball the whole time. They've run off 14 plays now, 15 plays in this drive. Yeah, so look out. Spread them out.
Well, David Ryan goes out wide to the left, Manicky out to the right, and Turner goes in motion. So they're really mixed up. Molina will cut inside. He's down to inside the 10, down to about the 5, and that's going to be extremely close.
Should be in let's see where they mark it, but that's going to be real close to first down, and it is.
And it is a first down. First and goal for the Maroons down at right on the 5-yard line, it looks like, Coach.
Well, I'll tell you, the Panthers couldn't have played it much better. They had everything covered, but if you give Molina just a slice, he gets turned sideways in there, and you just can't tackle him. And that's the advantage of having that kind of player on your football team.
It certainly is. And I mean, just the decisions he makes, you usually don't see him making many bad decisions, and he certainly made some great ones so far this evening, as he'll give it off to Goldstone again. He's inside the 5,
right
very,
near
very
the 1
close
yard line.
to the goal line on that first down and goal, and let's see where they're going to mark it. At about the 1 yard line. So second down and goal at the 1. And the young sophomore mad at him. So I guess Turner was mad at him himself, I guess, for not making a better block, it looks like. But and that's good to see. I mean, when a running back gets mad at himself for not making a good block, that really says something.
That's the game of football. If you're going to play this style of offense, you've got to fake and get tackled by about 9 guys. You got to block for somebody else, and only 1/3 of the time you're going to actually get the ball. Molina goes over the top that time.
And it's a touchdown.
Yep.
So Jay Molina with his second score of the evening. And, well, what do you do there?
Well, you just, UT played good defense. You can't knock anything they did. There were no gaping holes. Moline executed. I don't think they had a penalty, and they didn't fumble the ball or have any real negative plays. Everything was at least a 2 or 3 yard gain, and it set up a lot of 3rd and 3s and things like that. But what a drive. 2:03 to go in the third quarter, and UT has not touched the ball here in this half.
17 plays, if I'm not mistaken. I think it might be 18 plays here. That is unbelievable. The kick is up and good. That makes it 14-6 in favor of the Maroons. And with that, we'll take a short break and be back with the kickoff.
Boy.
Well, that was a 19-play, 78-yard scoring drive. 1-yard plunge by Molina at the 2:03 mark of the third quarter as Anderson kicks it off and keeps it on the ground, keep it away from the Shadowmans. Ooh, and I thought there was a fumble there for a second, but there wasn't.
Chad Van Voltenberg was the return man for the Panthers, and a host of Maroons were there that time. Steve Roberts, number 44, was one of them.
So it'll be 1st and 10, and now they're down by 8 at the 35. So good field position, however,
no question
at the 35.
about that.
So that's not going to hurt him. I think that allowed Anderson to kick it away. Of course, I think you got to keep it out of the.
Well, your two options there is you kick it deep and you send your extra point team out there.
That's
okay.
Right.
And if you kick it short, UT gets the ball at 35-yard line. So I think the Maroons are willing to give UT the ball right there. Let's see what the. Oh my.
Big, huge hit.
Holy cow.
They are fired up now. And I think it was Wes Brooks with the ball, and I think he would have rather given it off to somebody else.
Is it 77 on the tackle that time, too? 75, Greg White, and 55. Okay. Whew. That's Haig, Joe Hess Haig.
That's some serious hitting right there.
My.
No gain.
Well,
and Westbrooks is still in the game. That's probably the most important part. And almost got caught again behind the line.
Look out.
He
If
gets
he
off
breaks
the
it.
inside, but he's going to lose the yard. Ooh, pretty close to piling on there. But, well.
Man. I'll tell you, Moline is, they have just turned it up a notch. It's just, the speed is different because a play like that, earlier games, Westbrook would break that thing.
Would be gone.
And he'd be gone. And we'd be kicking an extra point attempt. And boy, I tell you, Moline closed in a real big hurry that time.
Well, they do have
huge
speed
third down. UT cannot afford to give the ball right back. 3 and out is what the Panthers do not need right now.
Right. 3rd and 11 here on a third down,
That's
and Rafferty
too
will
far.
put it up, and it's over the head of John Banks, and that'll make it 4th down and 11.
Boy.
And
Bundy was right.
Get it back again
and Bundy was right in Rafferty's face that time. There was no way he was going to get that ball to the receiver.
So 4th down, 11 to go.
3 and out. Panthers lose a yard. 49 seconds. UT used less than a minute on the clock. A 1-minute drive, 3 plays.
Unbelievable.
And Moline gets it back again.
Well, as we have a little equipment problem, it looks like back there.
We're talking about that 19-play drive, but remember that at the end of the first half, Moline had a 12-play drive for 75 yards. The last 2 possessions have been just
unbelievable. Oh, and it's over the head.
Oh, look out. He can still kick it.
And he can still kick it, but he's going to pass it, and it'll come down to, 2 players went for the ball. Now, where did they mark this, Coach?
Well, it'll be marked incomplete pass.
And
It'll be
Westbrooks
marked.
is hurt on the field, or at least shaken up a little bit. But that was dangerous. But
what? I'm watching that play, and I know. It was obviously a bad snap, but UT had nobody downfield. A play like that, you would assume that you're going to end up with 3/4 of your team down there covering a punt.
Could have that been a
planned
fake?
I was going to say, if it is, it's the best lousy snap I've ever seen in my life. But there was nobody downfield.
Actually, it was a pretty spiral by Scott Durbin as well.
Oh, he did a
the
nice
punter.
job. That's a smart play. He saved the Panthers.
And
nice
Goldstone
play
gets
there.
hit behind the line, still keeps driving those legs, and he'll lose a yard, but not without effort. Goldstone really is one of the good ones here in the Quad Cities area.
Yeah, the Panthers again. Dennison was in on that. LeJohn was in on that one. And again, that play was designed to go off tackle or a little bit inside of off tackle, and they popped it outside, and lo and behold, there's 3 black shirts waiting for you out there. So this game is going to come down to a 4th quarter ball game. We've got 7 seconds to go, and it doesn't look like Moline's going to run another play.
And that'll do it. The end of the third quarter. The Maroons leading it 14-6 over the Panthers. And we'll be back after this. For the start of the fourth quarter, we almost got our tapping on the wall.
Almost down to a science, don't we?
Yeah, we did. We really did.
Do they do this like on the Monday night game, you think?
I think that's what they do too,
Who taps on the wall there?
I don't know. Howard Cosell. He's not playing anymore. I'm sorry. He's not announcing out there anymore. Well, I would imagine it's that one guy that shouldn't really be announcing at all. I can't remember his name. Miller, I guess. Dennis Miller. And that's a whole different story in itself right there.
There you go. Well, we're looking at a third down situation. If UT is going to have a shot at this thing, UT is going to have to make a play here. 2 downs in a row.
Third down and 4.
Yep.
And once again, giving off to Turner. He cuts it up inside, and I think he's going to be a little short. I think he's going to be brought down at about the 22. Needed to get down to... Well,
that is a first down. They're going to give him the first down on that one. That was good. Again, the thing that's amazing is how hard the Moline runners run, but how many guys on an option play after Moline pitches it, UT still had like 3 guys there to make plays. If there haven't been any in these 2 real long drives, I don't know that I can pick out a glaring mistake that UT has made on any one of these plays.
Not at all.
There's not anybody running loose. The pass play they completed, they had 2 guys there. Molina's getting hit as he goes across.
And Molina, once again, he'll cut it up inside the 20, down to about the 16, and it'll make it second down and about 6 from there.
Well, it seems like I've spent my whole career here calling off UT defensive numbers, but that's because they've been on defense the whole night. But
well, both teams are doing an excellent job of what they have to get done. The Maroons are doing a great job on offense right now, and UT is hanging right there. They're, like you say, they're not making any mistakes, but you know, that 3, 4, 5 yards and all of a sudden a 10-yarder.
That's exactly right.
Down the field you go.
Well, and Moline's, like you say, Moline's not making any mistakes. That's the key here.
Goldstein's
still
got the
there.
ball with this one inside the 15, down to about the 11.
Johnson was there on the tackle. Sacco was there on the tackle. Dennison was there on the tackle. But you notice the Moline runners also, when they're getting hit, they're always going toward the goal line. They're falling forward. If you can get running backs to fall toward the goal line, you know, and a couple of times a few times UT's had the ball this half, and even late in the first half, the backs were getting stood up and knocked back the other way, and that doesn't help it. But I'm very impressed. This is my first watching of Moline this year, and they're a fine ball club. I mean, an excellent ball club, and they could run the table and be a playoff team here.
Yes, they could.
Without any question, and be a good representative.
First down and 10 at the 15 as Benson gets the ball. Number 43.
I think Molina kept
it down to about. Well, maybe Molina did.
Keep that one. He faked it and followed. That's a play that Molina has used. That one, a little counter going back the other way after faking to the fullback. That was a big gain there. That was a 7-8 yard gain on first down.
That was a great gain. But see, it even fooled me up here, Coach.
Faked the fullback, and Molina followed him right on in there. And now you've got another blocker in front of you. So nothing wrong with that. Good call by Moline.
So full backfield for Jay Molina as he comes underneath center. They're down there in scoring position once again. Turner gets the ball, hit hard, but he's still going to pick up 4 or 5 yards before he's brought down.
Wow, real close to the first down.
And it looks like a first down is the call being made up here. Let's see how good they are. Now, I made the call a little bit earlier, Coach.
Yep.
Let's see how good the sun is here at
well, I think they're right on it.
This one.
I think they're right on it. I'm trusting the boys. Don't let me down, boys.
Yeah, Tim Sanders says it's a first down, so we're going to go by what he says. We got the whole family here, by the way.
And this is fun. This is an enjoyable night. It's not. It really isn't that cold anymore, is it, Jess?
No, it isn't. Yeah.
We're sitting here. The windows are closed. We got about 13 people surrounding us. We're staying nice and warm, and Jess is over there with the window wide open, freezing to death. And what was that call? First down.
First down. So I tell you, these Sanders, they really got it down. They know this football game very well. And so far I've had just extreme pleasure working with you, Jim. And we were supposed to have been doing this all season long, and somehow we didn't get hooked up until, well, almost the end of the season. But we got a couple more games to go.
Well,
here.
I'm a volunteer assistant down at Westmere, you know.
That's
down
right.
there, that means you get your name in the program and you get to buy all your own clothing.
Well, that's a good thing. You can't beat that. I mean, you know. With Molina with his sneak as he takes it down and he's got another touchdown. So make it 3 touchdowns for Jay Molina here.
Boy, they had to unpile to figure out where he was in the middle of all that stuff.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's another great drive. Set up by their defense. And Moline is like they're getting ready to put this thing away. 8:32 to go now in the fourth quarter, and Moline's ahead 20-6.
Well, UT has put up a great fight here throughout the game, and maybe the size difference might be coming into effect here as well, because Moline is quite a bit bigger team.
Well, talking to Coach Tracy during the course of the week here, that was his fear.
No good.
Yeah, that was his fear, is that as the game progressed, are we going to be able to hold up? And it's obvious that the defensive kids that UT has out there are giving it everything they've got. I mean, again, if they were just getting blown off the ball, they're doing a really, really good job. But Moline's runners are just still flying up in there. UT is having to work off of blocks all the time, and nice-sized kids that are driving them out of the way. The linemen are staying with their blocks. Moline needs to be commended, and UT is putting up a game fight.
Oh, absolutely.
No question about that.
Well, it's been a very exciting game, even though the score right now might not show it. But this has been a really tough-fought game, hard-hitting on every play. You can hear them cracking the pads from up here, and it's not over. Anything can still happen. So let's see what happens here as Moline comes out to kick the ball off, with Anderson kicking it away, doing the kicking chores again. Will they keep it on the ground? Most likely.
Well, that's the only way UT can get back in the ball game now, is to pop. You know, now if you're UT, the good news is we can score quickly. You know, UT can put points on the board in a real big hurry if they can get somebody loose. But I think similar. I didn't see the Rock Island game, and you can tell me if I'm right, wrong, or otherwise. But the same kinds of things happened against Rock Island because they couldn't get the quick kids loose.
Right.
And if you can't get them loose, then you got a problem. But there's a chance here.
And there's Shadaman with the ball, one of them.
Yep.
That's Josh.
Josh, yeah.
Number 1. And he'll bring it back up past the 35 to about the 36-yard line, and from there they'll start 1st and 10.
Boy.
And maybe, well, I don't know, they got to open it up a little bit here, I guess, Coach. More so than what they've had, maybe some more pass plays to loosen up that inside defense, which is kind of just shut them down right now.
Well, they got to try to get somebody isolated on the outside, whether it's with a sweep action or an option action or passing, to where the speed can work on the perimeter, although Moline's defenders are much quicker than I thought they were.
And there is a pass. Ooh. And I guess I said an ooh because it was very high to R.J. Siebert's guard, and he was taken down hard, and I didn't catch who from which Moline player took him down.
I was off on that one. The post that time was in my way.
The post was in the way.
Yeah, I think he was running. He ran for me. It looked like he ran that post pattern.
Post pattern.
Yeah. It was,
we'll never be invited back here again. I could do it.
Yeah, I'll be here all weekend.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Rafferty has his hands full. He goes back, a nice, hard, strong pass. It's going to be enough for a first down as it gets out there, too. It looks like Siebert's guard. Well, check that.
Give a decent spot there. It's real close. That was a good throw by Rafferty that time.
With the catch. A beautiful pass. He really put some zing on that one.
Well,
First
it was
down.
a great pattern. And again, the Moline defender, and I didn't get his number. I apologize for that. I'm just kind of becoming a spectator here, but he was there. I mean, he closed quick enough to where he made the tackle immediately, But it was a good, and I like that about a team. One of my favorite teams, the Bears, have a tendency on that 3rd down and 10 thing.
Oh.
They have a tendency to throw that 4-yard pass. It makes no sense to me. If you're going to pass it and you need 10 yards, at least throw it 10 yards down the field someplace, and that's definitely what they did. The UT receiver, Knox that time, ran a real good route. He planted, came right back to the ball, and still had plenty of room for the first down.
Scott Milcom was on the coverage of that prior play over here on the other side. However, on that one was Brent Anderson.
Very good. I'll tell you that both teams have been prepared well. I don't think anybody's surprised anybody with anything tonight. No. I think they pretty well know what UT is going to do, Moline kids.
Well, Rafferty, he's coming out passing to Sievert's guard again, and he'll pick it up at the 45. He cuts back inside. Oh, hit by
he dropped the ball.
He drops the ball, and looks like Moline says they've got it.
White's got it.
Moline
and
ball.
Indeed, they do a turnover, unfortunately. Tough break as Sievert's guard with the catch, tried to get that extra yardage by cutting back up inside, and got popped there, lost the ball, and recovered by the Maroons.
Brent Anderson was on the fumble that time. Did a nice job. 7:54 to go.
And that coach is really going to hurt. Well, Molina now, all they have to do actually is hang on to the ball, don't make any mistakes, and they'll get that, have a victory and keep their march towards the playoffs, and they need to keep winning games.
Absolutely.
Goldstone with the ball, and he almost had it stripped away, so now I'm sure the coaches have instructed the Panthers to try to strip that ball as the players come up to them. Give them a yard or two extra, but try to get that ball out of their hands. Goldstone, he's pretty tough, though. He's hangs on to the ball.
Well, the difference, in this ball game for Moline as opposed to the Rock Island game is I think they moved the ball against Rock Island, but they turned it over several times.
Too many times.
And this game, they've done a beautiful job of executing the offense, hanging on to the football. Lineman coming off the ball, just like that. Look out.
And Turner up to the 50. He breaks it out. He's to the 40. Inside the 30 to about the 25. He's really taken down there, but 1st and 10 for the Maroons.
Dennison and
30-yard gain.
Flores that time really closed, but man,
Turner is quick.
If you want to run that one back on your VCR, take a look at our Turner, the running back that time. Shadaman had a beautiful angle to cut him off, and what Turner do? He searched him out.
That's right.
He took away the angle. Now he's running right at you. Now you have no choice. He can make a cut inside or outside, as opposed to just continuing towards the sideline, toward the boundary, and just get driven out onto the track, which Shadaman can do because of his speed. Really a neat run that time. Very impressive. Very impressive.
They get to look at Turner for 2 more years.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's an impressive running back.
Well, Benson, I think, gets it that time, and, check that. It's Goldstone with the ball, and he gets absolutely nothing as they kind of sniff that one out immediately.
Well, and this is a play that Moline has run real well and executed well, and it was obvious the second man through, the fake to the fullback, give the ball to the second man. UT has done a nice job of stopping that all night long, pretty much. They've had one break, I think, in all the times they've run that particular play. So, your game plan is take away somebody's best play, and that's one of Moline's best plays.
Sure, it is. It faked me out. I thought Benson had the ball. So, anyways, it's 2nd down and 10 for Jay Molina and the rest of the crew as Turner gets it again, and he'll pick up a couple yards, make it about 3 yards, and 3rd down and 7 from that point.
Counteraction that time. Fullback goes left. Bring the other running back, and hopefully your linebackers will over pursue. UT's linebacker stayed there. They only had one guy left, but he made the tackle.
Well, I think what the Maroons, too, are trying to do here, Coach, is maybe not score, but just hang on to the ball, don't make any mistakes, and keep that time ticking on the clock.
Well, absolutely. I wouldn't necessarily agree with not trying to score, but I think they're real happy the way this drive's going, just like this.
And Molina will carry it, but he will not get the first down. But they're inside the 20. It's probably, I don't know. They're going to allow Brent Anderson to come out and try to, yes, they will, as he comes out onto the field, so they will try a field goal from here.
Well, and this is one of those strategy things you look at as a coach. A lot of times you've got it written on the back of your clipboard, they're ahead by 14 points. A field goal here puts you ahead by 17, and then UT would have to score three times. And so this is good strategy. And it's going to be especially good if the field goal goes in.
That's right.
Now, if UT blocks it and runs it back for a touchdown.
Well, the ball's placed down. The ball's up in the air. It's got the length, and it is
no good.
So
Must have been just a little right, I guess, huh?
I think those officials posted tonight. It must have been right because it certainly looked again like it was good, but it must have been right of the goalpost.
Yep. Boy, that was a great strategy by Coach McGuire, and that's you practice those things. You take a look at the board. Your scouts upstairs in the press box are talking to you about now. The field goal gives us that 17-point lead, and that's what you look at.
Right.
They make that one fine. Otherwise, UT still got to go 80 yards in twice, basically, and with 4:58 to go.
Well, Rafferty goes out to the right side, and he'll hang on to the ball as he saw nobody open, but he's taken down after a short gain of about 4 yards, so make it 2nd down and 6.
Take a look this time at Moline's defense, see if they made any adjustments here late in the game, see if they're going to go into some kind of a prevent defense or whatever. We'll take a look. It still looked to me that time, I didn't have a good look, but it still looked like the 50 that they've been running all evening and running so well. Secondary guys are loosened up, their linebackers loosened up, but basically it's their base defense, except they're more relaxed screen pass coming here.
Oh, and down goes Brian LeJeune, and he had some running room.
Yes, he
if
did.
He could have stayed on his feet.
Boy, he had Seals out in front of him there. He had number 53. That's Matt Harmon was out in front of that play. That had potential being a real big play.
You
and
bet it
LeJeune
did.
has great speed also.
So they're trying. I mean, they're opening it up here towards the end, and that was a great play. That's something that they hadn't used all game long, and it was there.
It's a good call and executed pretty well. The ball might have been a little behind LeJeune, and he just wasn't able to keep his feet.
I think they're still in a pretty tight defense here, Coach. Oh, the ball a little bit high.
That was intended for Blue that time, Rodney Blue, and he's one of the Panthers' leading receivers and one of the leading receivers in the Western Big Six as far as that's concerned. That little quick slip screen that the Bears run so well occasionally. Ran better last year than this year. but last week it worked, what the heck.
So that makes it fourth
down.
and
7. Why not?
They're going to try it.
No sense
why
punting
not?
now. Screen
and
again.
Try to screen
come
over
right
here
back
to the
to
left
it.
side, and it's to LeJeune. He's up past the 25, close to the 30. That's going to be close to a first down, so let's see where they mark it.
We've also got a penalty back there. Number 33 for Moline is back in the middle of that. Woods, a defensive end,
right.
and Rafferty were back there, nose to nose. I'm not sure who did what, but roughing the quarterback here. So the Panthers are going to pick up a first down.
It will be a first down. I think he might have had it anyway. So, but now that'll bring the ball back, and now where they mark here.
Should mark it from where the play ended, and it should be 15 yards from the end of that play.
He would have been short if they were marking it because it looked like it was a 27. He needed to get to the 30, so it will be first and 10 after the penalty up to about the 42-yard line. It looks like 43. They're going to place it down there. So personal foul, roughing the passer.
Well, a big play for UT keeps that drive alive. I like the fact that Coach Tracy came back to the screen pass again. Sometimes we don't do that as coaches, and the only reason that play didn't work last time is that LeJeune slipped and fell down.
Exactly.
It's a great play. It just that we didn't execute it properly. Comes back to it, picks up 14 yards or so on that particular play, and unless Moline makes a great tackle, UT could still be running on that thing.
But they really don't have any respect for the passing game. If you can see the defense now, as they're all fairly tightly packed up.
Watch the middle guy.
Camelo drops back. Just as soon as I say that.
If he stays in there, we're going to have to send somebody else out there. He's just working on his back pedal.
As Westbrook's got the ball, he'll pick up a couple yards, make it 2nd down and 8 at the 46-yard line with.
And, some of the fans are not going to be real excited about that call, but that's the idea was we got them spread out and we pop Westbrooks through there at 6 points. I don't care how he gets there. Now they're bringing linebackers
There's a blitz here. But still, the pass gets away, man wide open, and it's a tip drill and almost intercepted.
That was a great play that time by, that was Camella, wasn't it, for
Steve Roberts.
Roberts was there.
Almost got the ball. Camelo was the one that tipped it. Was Steve Roberts coming up and almost got his hands on the ball. We were watching that tip drill earlier before the game started.
Evidently there's a need for that.
Yeah, there must be. We thought they were playing volleyball for a while, but
we had the bump part of it. It was set, but we had no spike that time.
That's right.
Well, we'll see now as the blitz coming, outside blitz this time. Plenty of great
pass out to one of the Shadowmans, and it's over his head, and Camelo on the coverage there. I don't think he would have went too far, but he might have got the first down. So
commend the UT line that time, because they're getting a lot of blitz things looking from the linebackers coming from Moline, and yet everybody got picked up. There hasn't been a linebacker or a lineman through yet, so Rafferty has plenty of time to throw the ball. It's just now a matter of making connection. And now we're back to another fourth down situation.
Fourth down and 7 here, and well, this is the ball game, I guess. Either to get it here, or I think it's pretty much all over. So let's see what Rafferty and company has in mind. As DeSchmidt gets through the line, it's going to be a first down. As it gets to Zach Knox, and he is really hammered
Brent
there.
Anderson. I like that kid.
By Anderson.
Whew. That's the way. If they're going to catch it, at least give them a headache when the thing's over with. Man.
6'3", 190, so I mean, Brent Anderson's not, he's a big kid.
And he's a junior, so I mean.
He's a junior.
And he's a quarterback along the way, so maybe heir apparent maybe to that job.
I think so. Well, they certainly, as another pass comes out here, just over the fingertips of John Banks. And he might have scored on that one, as Roberts was covering, and Roberts being a linebacker, I don't think would have had the speed to keep up with them.
Yeah. And we had Brent Coverdale in there too, number 45. Had an opportunity to get back to that play too. So it was a good call. They had Banks loose on the boundary out here. If we could have just got the ball to him a little bit sooner.
That'll make it a second down and 10.
2:39 to go.
At the 2:39. So 2 minutes and 39 seconds to get a score in here, and then they're going to have to do it all over again very quickly. And it's Sievertsgaard. Ooh, is he hammered there?
Yikes.
Boy, I'm glad I'm not playing anymore. That's all I can say.
Man. I know they hit like that up in Wisconsin, though. I know the boys hit up there. We've had an opportunity to play up there a couple times against some teams. We had played Milwaukee Tech here one time. I know those kids came in here and they could play some football. We've seen some really good Wisconsin high school teams.
Oh yeah, well we appreciate that. As again,
Vallejo this time on a little crossing route out of the tight end's position.
And that was a great play. Now that was totally unexpected. And I didn't even have him on my sheets here, so...
Vallejo's been a starter at tight end most of the season. For the Knights game, Ben Sacco started at that tight end position to give the Panthers a little better blocking. But Vallejo's a good basketball player and has great hands, soft hands.
As he proved right there. Yep. And again, a couple yards made up here.
Rafferty to Banks that time.
To Banks, and 6'3", junior, I think he is. Long and lanky.
Yes. Yep.
So second down and 5 as time is running out. A timeout is called. With that, we'll take a timeout as well. Be back with the conclusion of tonight's game. Well, as we get set to go again, second down and 5 for Rafferty as he drops back. He tosses it up to Sievertsgaard, and it's going to be intercepted by Camella in the end zone.
Camella did a great job there, and he's got great speed. Of course, if I remember the story correctly, at least, he was hurt all of last year, wasn't able to play. Am I right on that? I think I am.
I think so.
Yeah,
right.
And was a track star and rehab, got himself ready to go, and came back and is playing very well in the defensive secondary. So
as
nice
he just
play.
Proved there, yeah.
Nice play. Well, they went with the post corner route, quick slant look to Sievertsgaard and the pump fake, but Moline still stayed deeper than the deepest. If you can get a defensive back that will keep that mindset, play as deep as the deepest and then come back to the football, you're always going to be in good shape, and Camella certainly was that time.
Well, and he was a guy to throw to at 6'5". He certainly towers over everybody else. As Goldstone gets the ball, he'll give him a half a yard as time is running down now here in the fourth quarter. But it was a good try by the Panthers.
No question about that.
Good pass, just a little bit high, and Mr. Camella was back there to intercept it. So.
Justin Adams, number 65, is coming in for the Panthers, and Josh Stanley, number 73, is going to come out as UT gets a couple extra guys in the ball game along the way. But it has been a classic defensive battle, really. And Moline has just been able to have a couple drives, the 2 long drives, where they just didn't make any mistakes. And UT made them earn every bit of that play. Isn't going to work.
Nope, it isn't. Well,
until Moline runs with the ball. Yeah. That was one of those where, as a quarterback, you turn around and you go, "Oh, this is not good."
No, it's not.
Because the guy I'm supposed to hand it to is way over there. But if you got Molina playing quarterback, that may not be a bad plan.
He certainly is impressive. I mean, the
Yeah.
times I've seen him, he had a kind of a tough night against Rocky, but I think everybody did
Well,
that.
sure.
Everybody has against
Well,
that
and he was
team,
hurt. I
so-
know that he'd been injured that
Right.
week. He had some knee
Right.
problems. It's obvious his knee problems have been cleared up by now. He's got the quick feet that he's always had, and so competitive. That's the thing I like about him. He's just so competitive.
Very much so. Goldstone with the ball as he goes around
There's a
the
good
left
blocking on
side.
the
He'll
perimeter.
break it up inside first
There's
down.
great
He gets
blocking
up
at
to
the
the
perimeter.
35 and
Get
about
out
the
of
37.
my way.
Yeah. Once he gets thundering, he really goes.
Jeez. He's got a lead blocker out there just working like crazy, and they just one of those, oops, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me kind of thing.
Yes, it was.
But boy, well, that was the first time that on a sweep play that Moline was actually able to block it well and get the running back through there at the same time. That's the first of those we've seen. Everything else has been contact on or near the line of scrimmage each time.
Oh, UT has been right there all night long, and
Jim, there's your ball game.
there's our ball game. Well, that'll do it here, with the winner being the Moline Maroons 20, United Township Panthers 6. And Coach, what do you think of this game?
Well, I thought it was a good football game. I thought both teams, neither team has anything to be ashamed of. UT did not win the ball game on the scoreboard. They certainly hit with Moline for 4 quarters. Moline should be commended. They had 2 tremendous drives, one right before the end of the first half and the one to start the second half that actually sealed the ball game for them. They made no mistakes. Their linemen dominated up front, and they were able to move the ball in little bits and pieces, but they never shot themselves in the foot. I was very impressed with Moline. I think they're a playoff team. I think they'll win their next 2 ball games and finish at 6-3. And whoever draws Moline in the playoffs is in for a big-time struggle. The Panthers, I think they're going to go on and finish 7-2. I think they'll win their last 2 ball games, and they'll be a good playoff team if they match up with somebody that's not real big.
Right.
That's the
Right.
team that's going to hurt the Panthers. Somebody with the big, strong front line that the Panther kids who will give you everything they've got just don't have enough mass to stay with those guys, and I think that's what happened tonight. Coach Tracy, I thought, did a wonderful job. Coach McGuire and his staff did just a wonderful job, and it was great fun, Jim. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I've had a blast here this evening along with you, Coach, and geez, we got Jess Medina